Injury-wise, we have a number of them. Tyler Barron has a knee. Tyra has a groin. So we'll see how that is during the week. Kiko had his shoulder. I think this is the same shoulder he's had before. Stone Smart, possible concussion on that. And Taylor has a stinger. So those are the injuries. Had quite a bit, especially early on in the game. But this game was definitely disappointing. Really hard to try to put this in words. The only thing that I can say, I didn't have these guys ready to play. And that was obvious by the way that we went out there and played. So I have to take a look at myself, take a look at the staff, take a look at the players, and come back next week and get ourselves ready to play against a good team that's playing well right now. So, again, this was a tough one. You know, we have to eat it, we have to move on, and we have to try to improve next week, right? That's the only thing that we can do. And that's what we've been doing, you know. So, no finger pointing in this one. Again, this is on me, and I got to get our guys better going to next week.
Aaron, what was the first sign to you that they needed?
Say it again?
What was the first sign out there that you felt like they weren't ready? Was it that first defensive series?
To me, anytime your team just plays overall like this, that's how I look at it. So it's not just offense, defense. It's not that special teams. It's, man, overall, when we don't play up to par, you know, to me, that's the head coach. And, you know, I got to figure out a way to get us to continue to play at a level that we've been playing or exceed that level as we go on the stretch. So, again, I have to look at exactly how what I did during the week to make sure that doesn't happen again.
How tough is that when you have to go to a quarterback who's never played before? And I imagine he probably didn't even get any reps during the week.
Yeah, it's always tough. I mean, that's the nature of being a backup quarterback. But and that's really any position. You're not going to get all the reps that you want to get during the week, but mentally you have to have yourself ready to play. And you know, for the most part, I think he was. You know, I thought Miami did a really good job of pressuring. They brought the house a couple of times on him, but we got to do a better job.
You speak a little bit to Tyrod. You know, he's obviously a guy that. He plays pretty well when he's on the field, but throughout his career, he's kind of dealt with these injuries that come up and take him off of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, especially like the way that he's been getting these guys involved and the way that he's been working with these guys and try to build a rapport with these guys. For him to have to leave that early in the game, it's always tough, you know. So we got to get him healthy. We got to get him healthy. And the quarterback situation, man, we'll look at that going to the next week. But, yeah, it's always tough when your starter goes down. It doesn't matter who it is. It's when your starter goes down, and then you have to bring it back up in like I just talked about. That doesn't get all the reps, but get the mental reps. Man, it's always tough.
They had 240 rushing yards, I think.
Way too many.
Way
too many.
Was it tackling? Was it effort?
You know what? I don't want to say it's effort, but there was some missed tackles out there, and I just have to look at the whole thing. You know, when you look at the tape, schematically, I got to look at it. You know, tackling wise, I have to look at it. Listen, I will never question these guys' effort because I know they go out there and play hard. But we got to figure something out because 240 is way too many.
There's been a lot of drops the last couple weeks, and
Yeah.
there was a handful today. I mean, is there any common denominator that you're noticing with those?
No, I don't know what that is, you know, for us to get that many drops. And I don't want to say it's been the last couple of weeks. I know Mitch had a couple of drops the weeks before that, but I don't want to say that in totality the whole team's been dropping balls. This was a game where it looked like we did have a number of them from a number of different players. And even on the defense side, when we had a chance to make some plays on the ball, we dropped the ball then. So it's one area that it can happen. You know, receivers got to catch it, DBs got to catch it, and we got to make our plays when they come to us.
Do you need some guys, Aaron, just we just said, just guys to make some plays? It feels like you're getting on special teams, but offense, defense, you haven't had a lot of guys who just kind of make a big play.
Yeah. Well, that's the name of the game. Listen, those guys know that. You know, we're not telling them anything that's different. You know, that's something that we've talked about since OTAs. Especially the mentally tough teams, you know, playmakers got to make plays, and we as coaches, we got to put them in position to make plays too, you know. So it goes both ways, and the guys know that. So that's nothing new to them at all.
When
You
can
give
the
up
opportunity-
240 yards rushing, as a guy who, made his bones in this league as a defensive coach and a great defensive player.
Yeah.
What is your reaction to that? Not that I know you coached the whole team, but just as a defensive guy before you got here.
It's BS. You can't give up 250 yards rushing. It's that simple. Can't give it up. So you have to fix it.
What about talent? Is it possible some guys are just not up to?
I'm not going to go into that. I mean, next question.
Do you feel like they're at the end of the half? I mean, the interception, just there's like some moments and drops where just little plays like that can just really change the entire shift of what you felt like overall. Maybe the team wasn't ready, but just really pick apart maybe just a few plays there that could be really the difference in what happened over 4 quarters.
Well, you know what? That's really in most games. It's always a play or two. But I would say in this game it's probably more than that, because there was a number of drops. There was a number of drops, like I said, passes and interceptions and things like that. And again, I have to look at myself and see exactly what I need to do better to get our guys, ready to play games like this. So, division game, another game at home, like these are the games that we have to try to pull out.
Cook obviously got thrown into the fire a little bit, but did you feel overall assessment in terms of upside and what he can offer?
It's hard right now. It's hard. When I watch the tape, I get a chance to answer that question.
This officially eliminates you, so it's 15 years. I know 14 were not on your watch, but it's real. I mean, it's still going on. I'm wondering how you process that as a coach. I mean, just your thoughts on it. It's 15 years running now, the longest streak. I mean,
Get better. That's it. That's how I process it. That's the only thing that we can do is improve and get better. Because before you can start to consistently win, I've said this a number of times, you have to improve. You have to improve in all areas. And that's including us as coaches. We all have to improve. So if we want to consistently win this league, man, we have got to get better.